Welcome to episode 6 of today's podcast. Today, we're going to talk about Medicarehub Limited's neurological care services. Stay tuned.
All right, so today we're going to be looking at Medicarehub Limited and all the stuff they offer for people with neurological conditions.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff, actually.
And it looks like they offer a lot more than your average healthcare provider.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. They seem to be going way beyond just treating the neurological condition itself.
Yeah.
It's really more about addressing all of the needs that can pop up for someone dealing with these kinds of challenges.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like imagine someone who's just been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Right.
It's not just about giving them medication, right?
Yeah.
It's about helping them maintain their independence and their social connections.
Yeah.
And, just helping them with everyday tasks that might become difficult for them. And that seems to be where Medicarehub really steps in.
Absolutely. And actually, one of the things that really jumped out at me when I was reading through these materials was their focus on personalized care plans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're taking a one-size-fits-all approach at all. They actually really dig deep into each individual's medical history and their current situation.
Wow.
And even, their personal preferences to make sure they're creating a truly customized plan.
So they're not just saying, like, here's the standard Parkinson's protocol.
Right.
They're saying, okay, tell us about you.
Exactly.
What are your specific needs and goals?
Precisely. And that level of individualization is so important.
Yeah.
Because neurological conditions can manifest so differently from person to person.
Oh, for sure.
Even if two people have the same diagnosis, what works for one person might not be right for another.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I am curious, though, how they actually go about getting all of that information to build these personalized plans.
Well, they...
Seems like a pretty in-depth process.
Yeah, it is. It seems like they work really closely with the individual and their family, if they're involved, of course. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they also work with the individual's entire healthcare team to get, like, a really comprehensive picture. They look at things like medical records and current symptoms, lifestyle factors, and even the home environment.
Wow.
Just to make sure they're understanding the full scope of the person's needs.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
So once they've gathered, all that detailed information, what kinds of services do they actually offer?
Okay, sure. So we know they go beyond just medical care, but what does that look like in practice? They offer a huge range of services.
Okay.
But I think we can break it down into a few key areas.
Okay.
First, they try to address the practical challenges of everyday life that can be really tough for someone with a neurological condition.
So like getting around, taking care of hygiene, preparing meals, that sort of thing.
Exactly. They can provide mobility assistance.
Right.
Using things like walkers and wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Or even hoists if someone has really limited mobility.
Okay.
They also help with bathing and dressing so people can keep up their hygiene and their dignity.
Yeah.
And they can even help with meal preparation, making sure that people's dietary needs are being met.
It's incredible, really. Mm-hmm. It's like they're giving people a helping hand for all those everyday tasks that we all take for granted, but can be huge obstacles for someone struggling with a neurological condition.
It is. And it's not just about providing physical assistance. A big part of it is about promoting independence.
Okay.
It's all about empowering people to do as much as they can for themselves.
Yeah.
While also giving them the support they need when they need it.
So it's about striking that balance,
Right.
between providing the support, but also encouraging independence.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really tuned into that.
Absolutely. And they even offer light housekeeping services too, like laundry and cleaning.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just personal care they're helping with. Yeah. It's also about helping people maintain a clean and comfortable living space.
Right. And all of that together can really make a difference in someone's quality of life.
It really can. Yeah. It's about taking care of the little things so people can focus on their well-being and enjoy life more fully.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's not just about the individual, right?
Right.
When you're caring for someone with a neurological condition, it can be incredibly demanding on family members.
Oh, absolutely.
And caregivers.
Yeah.
And that's where their respite care services come in.
Right. They really recognize how important it is to support caregivers.
Yeah.
So they don't get burnt out.
Yeah.
And can keep providing, high quality care over the long term.
So it's like giving those caregivers a break, right?
Yeah.
So they can recharge and take care of themselves, knowing their loved one is in good hands.
It benefits everyone.
Yeah.
The caregiver gets that chance to rest. And the person they're caring for continues to receive consistent support.
This all sounds incredible.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if there are any limitations to this model. Can they really provide this kind of personalized care to a huge number of people?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
It's definitely something we should explore further.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to talk about, Yeah, especially when it comes to things like the specialized therapies they offer and how they handle cognitive and social well-being.
Well, I'm really interested in those specialized therapies you mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that next.
Okay, sure.
What exactly do they offer in terms of therapy?
So they actually help people get a bunch of different types of therapy.
Okay.
Each one's designed to address a particular need.
Right.
For example, physical therapy can help improve mobility and strength, and speech therapy can help with communication skills.
So it's not just like a generic therapy offering. It's
No.
tailored to the individual's challenges.
Right.
I see. But what about people with more cognitive impairments?
Oh, right.
How do they address those needs?
That's where occupational therapy comes in.
Okay.
That focuses on improving everyday living skills.
Right.
And that can be super helpful for people with cognitive issues.
Yeah.
Like they might work on things like getting dressed or cooking or managing medications.
It's pretty amazing how they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they even provide transportation to appointments and social events. So they're making sure people can stay connected and access all the care they need.
Exactly.
And of course, they also offer emergency response services to give people and their families some peace of mind.
Right.
It's like they've created this amazing safety net for people with neurological conditions.
Yeah, they're not just treating the condition.
Right.
They're really trying to support people in all areas of their lives.
Yeah, they've taken this whole person approach.
Yeah.
They're recognizing that well-being is more than just physical health.
It really does seem like they're on the cutting edge
Yeah.
of how we think about healthcare for people with neurological conditions.
This is all so insightful.
Yeah.
We've covered so much in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah,
From personalized care plans to all the support services they offer. But we still got so much more to explore.
we do.
Oh, yeah.
In the next part, I think we should really dig deeper into the impact this kind of care can have
Okay.
on the lives of people with these conditions.
Sounds good.
We can look at the evidence,
Okay.
some real-world examples, and really explore what it all means for the future of neurological care.
Yeah, I can't wait to unpack all of that with you in part 2.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've seen that Medicarehub has this really comprehensive approach to neurological care.
Yeah.
They're going way beyond just the medical stuff. But what I really want to know is how that actually plays out in the real world.
Yeah.
Do people actually see better outcomes when they get this kind of support?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And the research is still ongoing, but there's more and more evidence showing that this whole person approach can really lead to improvements.
Okay, so it's not just about, feeling better in the moment.
No, not at all.
It's about actually improving things in the long run.
Exactly. Just think about it for a second.
Yeah.
If you're constantly struggling with basic things like getting dressed or making food,
Right.
that creates so much stress and fatigue.
Oh, for sure.
And that can directly impact your physical and mental health.
Yeah.
It can even make your neurological symptoms worse.
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah,
One unmet need leads to another and it just keeps going downhill.
exactly. But when those needs are taken care of,
Yeah.
when you have that support for the everyday stuff,
Uh-huh.
it frees up your energy
Yeah.
so you can focus on other things.
Right.
Like your therapy or connecting with people.
Yeah.
Or just enjoying your hobbies.
So it's not just about making life easier.
Right.
It's about giving people the space to actually heal and grow.
Exactly. And there's a lot of new research coming out about this thing called social determinants of health.
Interesting.
Basically, it's all the non-medical things that can affect your health,
Oh, okay.
like access to transportation, safe housing, having social support, being financially stable.
Those all play a role.
Yeah, they all matter. And a lot of what Medicarehub does directly addresses those social determinants.
Okay, so
They make sure people can get to their appointments, that they have a clean and safe place to live, and that they have connections with other people.
So they're building this support system that goes way beyond what we normally think of as healthcare.
Right, but how does this model work with other conditions?
Okay, yeah.
We've talked a lot about Parkinson's,
Yeah,
but what about something like stroke recovery?
right.
That's where those specialized therapies are so important.
Okay.
Like, say someone needs speech therapy after a stroke.
Okay.
Traditional therapy might just focus on basic exercises,
Right.
But Medicarehub would take a more personalized approach, really thinking about that person's specific goals.
So it's not just about being able to speak.
Right.
It's about being able to communicate in whatever way works best for that person.
Exactly. They might use things like melodic intonation therapy,
Oh, wow.
which uses music to help people access language.
Oh, interesting.
Or they might focus on visual communication
Okay.
if someone has trouble speaking.
So even within those specific therapies,
Yeah.
they're still focusing on that individualized care.
Exactly.
We've talked a lot about the good stuff, but are there any downsides?
Well, of course, no model is perfect.
Yeah.
One concern is how you scale it up.
Right.
This level of care takes a lot of resources, both staff and money.
So it might work really well for a small group,
Yeah,
but it could be hard to make it work for a lot of people.
that's a legitimate concern.
And then there's the question of who pays for it all?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it covered by insurance or do people have to pay a lot out of pocket?
And if we want everyone to have access,
Yeah.
we have to make sure it's affordable.
That means we have to change how we think about healthcare funding. Right now, we mostly focus on treating illness, not preventing it or supporting people in this more holistic way.
Medicarehub's model is challenging that old way of thinking. It's saying that maybe if we invest in these support services early on, we could actually save money later.
Right, because we'd be preventing those bigger problems.
Exactly. It's like that saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
But it seems like a lot of healthcare systems are more about reacting than preventing.
That's true.
Yeah.
And changing that mindset won't be easy.
No.
It's about changing how we value health and well-being.
And it's going to take different groups working together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not just healthcare providers.
Right.
It's social services, transportation, community groups.
Yeah, it's a whole network of support.
And that's where technology could be a game changer.
Oh, absolutely.
How so?
Well, we know Medicarehub uses technology to manage care plans.
Right.
And track how people are doing. But imagine if that technology could connect people with all kinds of support services in their community,
Okay.
like transportation, social groups, meal delivery, home maintenance, anything they need.
It would be like a one-stop shop for all those needs. That would be amazing.
It would make it so much easier for people to get the help they need.
But wouldn't that also raise some privacy concerns?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, you're talking about sharing a lot of sensitive information.
You're right. Those are important things to think about.
Yeah.
As we move towards more connected care models,
Yeah.
we have to build in privacy and security right from the start.
And make sure people have control over their own data.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's about finding that balance between using technology to improve care
Yeah.
and protecting people's privacy.
It's a lot to consider,
Yeah,
but it's exciting to think about the potential.
it is.
If we can figure out these challenges and find a way to make this model work for more people,
Yeah,
it could really change things for the better.
absolutely.
This second part of our deep dive has been amazing.
It has.
We've covered so much.
Yeah.
From the impact this care can have in the long run to the importance of supporting people's minds and social lives.
It's clear that Medicarehub is doing something really innovative,
Yeah, they are.
and it makes you wonder about what the future holds for neurological care.
Yeah, like, can this model be copied and used more widely?
Right.
What does it mean for healthcare policies and funding?
Yeah.
And how do we make sure everyone who needs this kind of care can get it?
Those are all important questions.
Yeah, and we're going to keep exploring them in the final part of our deep dive.
We'll look at the challenges and the opportunities that are out there.
Okay.
And think about what this model can teach us about healthcare as a whole.
We've really gotten a good look at what Medicarehub is doing for people with neurological conditions.
Yeah.
And it's clear they're really shaking things up. But like with any big change, there are always going to be challenges and opportunities as we look ahead.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that comes to mind is, how do we make this model work for more people?
Right.
Right now, it seems like it takes a lot of resources
Yeah.
and a lot of individual attention. So can we actually do that on a larger scale?
That's a great point.
Or would we lose something in the process?
It makes me think about the difference between those small boutique hotels and those huge mega resorts.
Yeah.
The small ones can give you that really personalized service because they have fewer guests to worry about.
Exactly.
But if you try to do that for thousands of people, it's a whole different story.
Exactly. And then there's the question of money.
Right.
Who's going to pay for all these services?
Yeah.
Does insurance cover it? Or do people have to pay a lot themselves?
And if we want this to be available to everyone, we got to figure out how to make it affordable.
We have to change how we think about healthcare in general.
Yeah.
Right now, the system is set up to treat you when you're sick,
Right.
not to prevent illness or support people in a more well-rounded way.
Yeah. And Medicarehub's model is really challenging that.
Yeah, it's saying that maybe we should invest in these support services up front. And that might actually save money in the long run.
Right, by preventing those bigger health problems down the road.
Would they say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure?
But it seems like healthcare is often more about reacting than preventing.
That's true. It's going to be tough to change that way of thinking.
And it's probably not just about healthcare providers.
No, it's not.
It's about social services, transportation, community groups.
Right. It takes a whole network of support.
And this is where technology could play a big role.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How so?
Well, we know Medicarehub uses technology to manage care plans and keep track of how people are doing.
Yeah.
But imagine if we could use that technology to connect people with all kinds of support in their community.
Okay.
Like transportation, social groups, meal delivery, home repairs, anything they might need.
So it's like creating a one-stop shop for all those needs.
Exactly.
That would be so helpful.
Yeah, especially for someone who's already dealing with a health condition.
But what about privacy?
Oh.
I mean, we're talking about sharing a lot of personal information.
Yeah, that's a really important point.
Yeah.
As we make these care models more connected, we got to make sure that privacy and security are built in from the beginning.
And that people have control over their own information.
Absolutely. It's a delicate balance
Yeah.
between using technology to help people
Yeah.
and protecting their privacy.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it is.
But it's exciting to see what could happen.
It is.
You know, if we can overcome these challenges and make this model work for more people.
Yeah, this could really change things for the better.
Because more and more people are realizing that healthcare is about more than just treating symptoms.
Right. It's about supporting the whole person.
Exactly. And empowering people to live their lives to the fullest.
Exactly. And that's what I hope people take away from this.
Yeah.
This deep dive into Medicarehub has given us a glimpse of what's possible.
It really has.
Now it's up to all of us to keep talking about this, to push for change, and to create a future where everyone has access to this kind of care.
You said it perfectly. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener.
Yeah, it has.
Thanks for walking us through it all.
My pleasure. Always happy to talk about these important topics.
And to everyone listening,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us on this journey.
We hope this made you curious
Yeah.
and inspired you to learn more about how neurological care is changing. Because knowledge is power.
It really is.
The more we understand about these conditions and the new ways we're treating them, the better we can advocate for ourselves and our loved ones.
So keep learning, keep asking questions,
Yeah.
and keep fighting for a better future for everyone affected by neurological conditions.
Until next time,
Stay curious.
and stay informed.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please visit our website to learn more about our services at medicarehub.co.uk. Bye for now.